And we are joined on the line by Jean Toscher, who's a fair trade and sustainability manager and safari manager at Ghost Mountain in uMkuze. Jean, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope I didn't butcher your name.
No, you didn't. You actually did a little better than most people around here do. They normally pronounce it torture, which is possibly correct. But
Oh,
yeah, touche is how you say it.
touche. Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. So, being in charge of the fair trade and sustainability management and safari management at Ghost Mountain, it must be very interesting. How do you, kind of explain the model to us, the sustainability model for the lodge, for the inn?
Okay, so a while ago, it's something this hotel has always lived with, and a new hotel called Sala Beach came online. And we've kind of always lived within our community with the whole idea of giving back, and it being a reciprocal agreement, not just with our local around us community, but with our conservation community, and our impact on the earth itself. We, for a while, looked for a way of making it not be greenwashing, if that makes sense, but to join something real. And we discovered a program called Fair Trade Tourism, which is Africa based and Africa built. Because one of the problems we find with these sustainability programs is they tend to be very Eurocentric. But fair trade was developed for us. And it's very, instead of focusing on only the environment or only world impact, it focuses hugely on staff well-being, guest well-being, and 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 our sort of impact on our communities,
Yeah.
which made it a very good one for us to join. Um, from the point, so that's when I came on board. We got our certification, and I now run sustainability for both hotels. And
Period.
as I've said, it's not concentrating on one point. It's very holistic and very um, involving everybody rather than just from a one point of view.
Yeah.
I hope that made sense.
It does. It does. And I think it kind of comes back to the question. And I know it's going to sound really weird to just ask you this, right? But how do you guys do it? I mean, nature's so unpredictable. Animals are so unpredictable. How do you manage to do that? You deal with a number of guests. Some people are grumpy. Some people are chances. Some people want to take a walk through the wildlife thinking that they know what's happening, thinking that they know how animals are. How do you guys find like a really good balance between the people? What are some of the niche experiences that you do that give them that experience?
So when it comes to that it is a fine line to walk, and it can be yeah, humans are much more unpredictable than animals to me. I grew
Wow.
up in the bush, so I at
Wow.
least understand an animal far better. But yeah, it's communication. It really is. It's when you meet and greet guests, when you chat with guests, you don't want to put a fear of Africa into them, but you
Oh.
need to instill respect.
Mm, mm.
And so, right from if you're doing a game drive, you will get a talk as you get onto the vehicle
Yeah.
on like not breaking the shape of the vehicle, not reducing your impact, reducing the noise, anything
Mm,
that would impact on the wildlife that you're moving around. We don't normally send out, if there's a larger group, there will be more guides
mm, mm.
who are trained and understand and have their field guides qualifications, and a huge amount of field guide qualifications runs around respect and communication of that respect with guests. So it's a communication thing.
You know what I also find, interesting about what you're saying is that there's an operational side of it, but there's also a wellness side of it. Talk to us about that wellness tourism. I mean, how do you make sure that you guys integrate wellness into the guest experience?
Okay, it comes in a few different ways. So we do have the sort of traditional sort of wellness. We have a fantastic spa on site. It uses very traditional, a lot of traditional parts, like plants that will grow in our gardens and things like that. We have awesome gardens at Ghost Mountain and then at Sala, the beach, and we use them in different ways. So we do early morning walks. If people want a more strenuous walk, or a very spiritual walk, is to go up Ghost Mountain. Going into reserves, we try and slow people down from the traditional chase the big five thing, which just means hitting the ground and looking for something, to sitting quietly in hides, in reserves, and experience nature a little bit more. Our guides are trained to talk about the little things, to help people to listen, sometimes even taste and smell and feel Africa, instead of this fast moving, I have to see a lion type thing.
Yeah, yeah. I want us to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to speak about the challenges within this industry because, I mean, guests are one thing. Like you said, humans are more unpredictable than animals. So I'm sure you've dealt with some very interesting characters in your time. But I wanted to pause there. It is 7:21 Central African time. We'll be right back.
The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
7:22 Central African time. Welcome back to it. We're having great conversations with Jean Toscher, who is part of the team at Ghost Mountain Inn in a capacity as a fair trade and sustainability manager and safari manager. So we were talking about the integration of sustainability, wellness, but also the operations of an inn and a lodge within the safari world. What are the challenges? You have people who, I mean, already, I remember my retail days, I used to sell coffee and I thought that was like the easiest thing until I worked the morning shift and I had to deal with people who haven't had their coffee. So tell me about that, because you guys also deal with the customers that haven't had their breakfast or their coffee. Talk to us about that.
I haven't had my coffee. It's not worth dealing with me at this time of the morning. It's communication, but yes, occasionally you do get the guest who's just really difficult, and then you have to start understanding maybe why or where the difficulty is coming from, and having a little empathy. There have been one or two where people ask me, how do I deal with it day in, day out? And I just say, I feel sorry for somebody who faces life every day looking for the bad and not the good. Life is amazing, and yes, there's downs, but every day you have to find your good. And if you can't, then maybe they deserve the time and effort and a little bit of understanding, because something else is wrong there.
Yeah.
So it's your approach to them, and very often that calms the situation down. Every now and again, a situation just needs a hug. There is that. But also there is the fact that somebody walked in with a camera and I got distracted. Cameraman, I tell you. So there is the fact that you just have to walk that fine line. And another difficulty we do have is and then again, it always seems to be a communication thing, is that, and it's one everybody thinks. You think about a lodge like this in terms of safari and animals and big game, and if you know what I mean. But actually, a lot of what we do is culturally based, and not culturally based on the common idea of a culture tour. So we have relationships with communities where we go up into the communities and they do walks for us to the edges of the mountain for beautiful views. But they walk through a village and they talk about their life today. and it's part of it is getting more Western-based tourism to respect that and to learn from it and to learn from the African experience and to put it into their programs to do that experience. So it's trying, part of it is trying to turn that idea away from the big five and into a holistic African experience.
Where can we find you guys? I mean, just hearing this, you sound like a team that prioritizes the mental wellness of each guest. So I don't think anyone would want to miss any of that. Where can we find you guys?
Ghost Mountain is just outside uMkuze town in northern KZN. And Sala is at Thompson's Bay, Mhlanga in Durban.
Amazing stuff. Do you guys have social media maybe?
Yes, we do. And I'm technologically challenged. But
You know what we'll do? We know what we'll do. If you can pop us a WhatsApp, and we're going to post it on our social media so that at least I know our listeners can just access it. So if you can just find it for us, send it to us via WhatsApp, and we'll post it ourselves on our social media.
thanks.
No, don't worry. We're in this.
Question.
No, don't worry. We're in this together. We're in this together, Jean. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and all the best, guys, with our operations. And we're entering a nice holiday season, so I'm hoping it's fruitful for you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. That was Jean Toscher, who's a Fair Trade and Sustainability Manager and Safari Manager at the Ghost Mountain Inn. We are still on the social media at Channel Africa 1, on WhatsApp +27634069126. It's just gone 7:27 Central African time. We've got great music lined up just for you so we can wake you up today. Probably preparing for church as we speak. And I know that, you always want to make sure that you listen to us just before you go and praise the Lord. So maybe just keep us in your prayers. How about that? It is 7:28 Central African time, right here on the Oasis.
Africa's very own think tank. This is Channel Africa Online. www.channelafrica.co.za. This is the Oasis on Channel Africa.